Good afternoon, it's William here, the Bangkok voice coach, and today I'm going to look at something really very exciting. It's Dimash Kudaibergen singing across endless dimensions. Now that sounds very grand, almost intergalactic, and it could possibly be intergalactic because it's from a film called Creators, the Past, and that sounds rather grand too. It's in English, but it was made in Italy, and apparently it is starring William Shatner from Star Trek. It's all sounding a bit intergalactic. This song was written in 2020 by Piergiuseppe Zaia, and the lyrics are by Antonella Maggio. Now, Zaia studied music at the Giuseppe Verdi Conservatoire in Milan, and then after that, I believe he was in the chorus of La Scala Milan, the most famous opera house in the world. So Piergiuseppe Zaia certainly has a very good training in classical music and writing for the voice. So you would think that this is a great vehicle for the talents of Dimash. Well, let's have a look.
Dimash Kudaibergen, Kazakhstan!
This is a Slavic Bazaar on the 18th of July 2021. Dimash looks absolutely wonderful, all in white. A minor.
Of my creation, my soul.
Verse 2, a little bit of rhythmic section.
From space and time, ready to rise across endless dimensions. Fly me high and hold me tight.
Hold me tight. Isn't it noticeable how his English has so improved? His pronunciation is really natural and beautiful. It's changed a lot because when I heard him in 2017 in the competition in China, his English was not as well developed as this, and it's quite obvious that he's been working on it and spending more time perhaps in English-speaking countries.
From empty days to
Just really effortlessly beautiful. Up the octave, C5. It's just extraordinary how he will switch from the middle octave up to this higher octave, but it's so effortless. In fact, if you didn't know that it was up an octave, you might think he might have modulated up a tone if you weren't sort of musically trained, I suppose you could say. But I can hear that it hasn't changed key. It's still in A minor. He's just literally gone up an octave. He finds these other notes, but you can tell he's nowhere near the top of his range. Breathy mix of all.
turn
Love that me on the E vowel. E5. Yes. But the thing is that again he flipped up the octave from E5 to E6 just like that. Now that is the biggest, widest range you can imagine. He has gone just one semitone short of the Queen of the Night, an F6. But he's also sung low A's, which is a baritone part of the voice. And what is most extraordinary is that he moves through them without any breaks. He doesn't change gears like a car, like this. He doesn't really use falsetto. A falsetto voice is rather thin, disconnected. What he has managed to do somehow is to connect up his whole voice, 1, 2, 3, 3.5 octaves. It is seamless. It is absolutely even all the way through, and you cannot hear a change of register at all. He almost makes it look too easy. Do you think people realize how difficult it is? Do you think people realize what kind of geography he's covering there with his voice? He's been up to the top of Mount Everest and back again, and he didn't even bring a packed lunch. He just went up in his shorts and a t-shirt. This is perhaps one thing about Dimash that used to be said about Pavarotti too. When Pavarotti started working with Herbert Breslin, the concert promoter and agent, Breslin said to him, "Pavarotti, you need to make it look more difficult. You need to sweat a bit more. You need to look a bit more worried in your face." And Pavarotti never worried about his voice, but what he did develop was a very clever way of looking like he was worried and relieved afterwards, and that is key. If you see him singing Es Norma, at the end, he sings right that very famous phrase, he gets to the end, and then he looks so relieved, and the audience, they say, "Yes, Pavarotti, you did it." Perhaps a little bit of acting is required just as part of the process of performing and giving that sense of excitement to the audience. I'm not saying that he doesn't do that, because of course he does, but he is such a master of his voice that he doesn't even break into a sweat. He knows exactly what he's doing. Just say that if he made it look a bit more difficult, people might realize what he is doing is off the scale in terms of vocal accomplishment. It's William here, the Bangkok voice coach. Thank you so much for watching and looking at the other videos on my channel, and please do send your comments because I really do enjoy getting them. Thank you. See you soon. Bye.